listening to the DFS On Deck podcast, brought to you by LineStar, the top-rated DFS tool set and #1 companion for DraftKings, FanDuel, and Yahoo Daily Fantasy. Go LineStar Premium now at LineStarApp.com. Now, here are your hosts, fantasy baseball experts Joe Pisapia and Chris Meaney.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? It's me, Joey P, Joe Pisapia, and welcome to On Deck right here on the LineStar app. It's me, and it's Chris Meaney, and it's you, and we're here breaking down the MLB slate here. It's Monday, early morning. Oh, is it early? No coffee, no nothing yet, but it doesn't matter because things need to get done. And I want to remind everybody, too, we got a new episode coming this week of the NFL show, so stick around for the pre-snap as well as we get closer and closer to football season. We are here, and but in the meantime, Chris Meaney, yesterday was another fun day of baseball. Unfortunately, our dream of meeting in the World Series in my home league got snuffed out in a big way because you and I got hammered this week. Let me tell you, we both had like 60-point leads coming into week 2 of the playoffs, and I've never seen scores like that. We got absolutely destroyed, so I guess we're just bridesmaids for the rest of the summer.
Yeah, no kidding. We did get destroyed. Like, it wasn't even close, actually. It was a great showing from our boy Jay, who is a listener of the show, friend of the show. He told me, just for the years of listening to you and I and Jake had helped him along. I was like, I think you're doing all right. You don't really need us. This team is pretty stacked. So good luck to those guys. It was just a dream, you and I meeting in the World Series. But you know what? It's always next year.
So close. I can set up like a losers bracket for us anyway if you want to do that. Just for the losers. But yeah. It's fun. It's good to you can feel kind of the motion start to turn here as we get into the end of August into NFL, which is great. Preseason is it's frustrating. And the people play preseason DFS. Look, no offense. No offense. You're crazy. Like, yeah. You're just nuts. I don't get it.
You're just doing it just to play. That's all. Like, there's no security. There's no safety in it. There's nothing. It's complete luck. It really is.
But I want to remind everybody also to make sure you're downloading and getting that LineStar app and get ready to work with it. It's a short slate today on the Monday, but a very tricky one, that's for sure. But before we get into that, I want to talk about what happened yesterday in Major League Baseball. So let's get at it. Hedges had 4 hits yesterday. As the San Diego Padres beat up the Phillies a little bit, 3-2. They just kind of snuck right by them. Rafael Devers hit his 27th bomb. And your boy Travis, who you keep pointing out every time he's in a lineup, he's good. Well, he was good again. Hit his 6th as the Red Sox scored 13 runs in that one. Clevenger got his 8th win of the year. Mercado his 10th home run. So another good outing there for Mike Clevenger. That's what we want. A little bounce back because last week was not very good.
No, it wasn't. And you mentioned Devers, the first guy to 100 RBI. I mean, what a season. Who would have called? I know you were in on him. I was as well. But for the first guy in MLB this season to get to 100 RBI, he's at 101. He's got 103 runs. And he's hitting 332. I mean, it's just a remarkable year from him.
Yeah, the Black Book write-up with Devers was, he's still so young. What are you, crazy? I believe that's pretty much what it is. Like, take the shot on this guy everywhere. He's free. He's going to play. And, all of a sudden, everybody just off of him this year. It was crazy. It was just absolutely nuts. Talent. Yeah, Lindor with his 21st home run. And, of course, the craziest thing of all on Sunday was Kikuchi throwing a shutout. What's happening to the Blue Jays? Oh, awful. Kyle Seager's red hot, too, by the way.
Shutout. Unbelievable stuff. Yeah, Seager is hot, by the way. You're right. And, his price is fairly cheap over on FanDuel. Actually, a lot of these Seattle Mariners are, to be honest. But yeah, but Kyle Seager is on a heck of a run. He hit the home run yesterday, home run the day before that. He had the 3-run home run game. So he's got 5 homers. Last week he had 5 homers and he scored 7 runs and cashed in 11 RBI. It's a pretty good week.
Yeah, that's it. Flaherty also with his 7th win. So Flaherty looking, I think, making a statement for next year too. I think we're at a point now where he's had such a good run here where people are going to look. And Flaherty's one of the guys who was very high on this year. And I was very, very pro Jack Flaherty. In the first half of the year was very spotty. But I think the second half is proving exactly. It's kind of very eerily similar to Luis Castillo's season last year, which was very spotty in the first half, second half very good, and then now has reached the ace status, and that's where you want. Goldschmidt with his 28th home run, Cody Bellinger with his 42nd, and let's also not forget, too, Pete Alonso, 40 dingers for a rookie.
NL
before
rookie
we get to
record.
September. How about that? Rookie record.
That's pretty impressive. He's blown away any expectations I had for him this season. I thought, some power, maybe he'll strike out a ton, but there's no way. I mean, even striking out 25% of the time for a rookie is pretty solid. The walk rate, double-digit walk rate, an unbelievable year. He's probably going to get to 45. He's certainly going to get to 100 RBI. I mean, that's a phenomenal season.
It is. It is. Mike Moustakas, by the way, too, 30 home runs, 2 yesterday. Victor Robles with his 16th there. A ton of home runs, too. Dozier had 2. Rendon. It was like home run derby. Soto had 2.
I think 8 Nats hit a homer.
It was crazy. Absolutely crazy yesterday. It was like home run derby out there. Unbelievable. And my favorite thing of the day was definitely the evening game. Greinke got his 13th win, blah, 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 whatever. My favorite thing was definitely the game at the Little League Stadium, which is super fun. They wear the silly uniforms. At the end of the game, they all shook hands just like Little Leaguers do. I enjoyed this profusely, more than I should have. I don't know, but I played ball up in Williamsport myself. I was a coach up there for a couple of years. I actually got to play on that field and coach on that field many times. It was a great thrill for me. But then that minor league ballpark, we used to go to games there. Just kind of, get a night off and you go there and you go and check out some minor league baseball and to watch those big leaguers kind of play in the little ballpark with all the kids watching. It was fun. It was a good time.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, Williamsport. I like that baseball has done this now a couple times. It's pretty neat. And, just hanging out on the podcast over at The Athletic, the Yins Above Replacement with the Pittsburgh Crew and Rob Beer-Temple and Stephen Nesbitt is something that they looked forward to. And it's been a rough year in Pittsburgh. So it kind of, brings that team away from all the distractions that's gone on. And it was pretty cool. And the big boys were the big boys in Chicago. Another home run from Nick Castellanos. Rizzo went yard as well.
That Rizzo one, as soon as it left
the
bat.
Yeah, right?
One of those, hitting, oh, God. It felt like one of the Little League ones where the guy just didn't move almost. That's my favorite. I love when guys hit a home run and the outfielders don't move. It's the most insulting thing to the pitcher, and I love it. It's
that Harper grand slam, or wasn't the grand slam, the walk-off that he had this past week. And it was funny. There was, I forget who it was from now, and it was just, it was almost like a GIF and it reminded me of like a little Nintendo thing. So they just showed the right fielder, and I forget who it was now. But as soon as the ball was hit, he immediately just starts walking in at a fast pace, like to the dugout, like it's over. I don't even sit there and watch this go over my head. I'm gone.
Sometimes you just know. All right, that was yesterday in the weekend, but it's a new day. Yes, it is. So let's get after it. And it is a wacky slate. Oh my God, it's the Wild West tonight. I've got a lot of thoughts. I know Chris does too, but let's start with Baltimore. John Means at home against Jorge Lopez. Santander, guess what? He's still 3.1 on FanDuel. I don't want either of the pitchers. We're not going this route, but in terms of offense, 3.2 for Whit Merrifield, all the way down to 3.2, Chris. What is happening? Dozier 3.8, Soler 3.6. But to me, it's still about Santander 3.1 being the best value in that Baltimore Orioles lineup. You just can't stop the guy right now.
No, you can. And Jonathan Villar's had a pretty solid second half as well. So, I mean, it's a small sample size, but, Lopez is not a great pitcher. I think you can attack him from both sides. But lefties so far is kind of where it's been at. 347, 406, 605 slash line, a 417 WOBA, 10 homers. So Santander's going to move over to the other side. Villar is going to move over to the other side. Those are the two I like. And it is a wacky slate. It really is. I mean, Baltimore's got a 5.3 team implied total. I mean, you can get involved with a couple guys there and make it work.
Yeah. You want to talk about variance? Whit Merrifield is 5.1 on DK and just 3.2 on FanDuel.
3.2 on FanDuel. He's been a steal all year on FanDuel. This guy gets no respect.
None.
None. It's been 2 years. Like, oh, yeah, he had a breakout year. He's not going to be able to do that again. And then this past year, I don't feel like anybody was really – I just felt like he was going a little bit later than he should. And again, like, just look at his price on FanDuel. It's 3.2. He's been pretty solid all season long.
Joe Ross and the Nationals are going to travel to Pittsburgh to take on Trevor Williams. Again, from the pitching standpoint here, I'm not super thrilled. Sometimes you like to make a case for Joe Ross. Is tonight one of those cases? He's 6.9 on DK, 7.3 on FanDuel. I don't love it on FanDuel, but on DK, I kind of get it.
Yeah, at DK, it's okay because of the slate. I do make a case for him, but he doesn't strike out a lot of guys, 36
Oh,
and 42. But listen, he's only allowed 1 run in his last 3 outings. And, they haven't come against great teams, Arizona, San Fran, Cincy. This one is not a great team in Pittsburgh. They don't strike out a ton. But, over those 3 outings, he has 16 innings and he's only allowed 9 hits. So he's been pretty solid. But again, on the flip side, he only has 11 strikeouts. So he does keep the ball on the ground, which I like. Probably going to get the W. Also like that. But yeah, standalone value, FanDuel, there's not a lot there.
yeah, but there is standalone value on Victor Robles at 3.2 and Juan Soto at 4. Both these guys very hot right now. And you can have the two of them for 7.2 combined. That's pretty darn good. Rendon still always a good value at 4.3. You always like him, but
and Adam Eaton, I find, has been much better. He's hitting 310 in the second half.
Yeah, how did I dinger this week? Was one of the many Nats that go yard yesterday?
Yeah, 358 average in August. So he's somebody we need to keep an eye on because if you're looking over on FanDuel and DraftKings, I mean, he's 3.5 on FanDuel. He's actually jumped up. He was 3 last week, so they've caught on to him a little bit. And this is the thing: like Adam Eaton has a good month, he's 3.5. Whit Merrifield has a good year, he's 3.2. It's just weird how some of the players are like this, but yeah, some of those lefty bats against Trevor Williams is the way to go.
All right, now here's a tricky one because you got Trevor Bauer at 10.2 on FanDuel. Trevor Bauer is 11.7. That's very expensive on DK. He's at home. He's against the Padres. The last outing, not very good. The last couple outings, up and down, to say the very least. Still walking too many guys. Here's the issue, okay? Or here's the real question. What do you do with Trevor Bauer tonight? Is he a cash game play just because of the salary? Or is he a tournament play based on his recent track record? And there's an upside for strikeouts against the Padre lineup. So I'm going to walk away from this one because this one makes my head hurt today. I know what I think. I want to hear your thoughts because right now Trevor Bauer is leaving me kind of confused.
Yeah, there's no way I'm playing him cash. Like I'll play him in cash if I'm doing $5, $10 lineups. Like if you're a heavy cash player, you can't trust Trevor Bauer. You just can't. He's been like this all year with the walks. I mean, his walk rate is 3.65. Yeah, he's got the highest ceiling on the board tonight by far, and that's why you roll him out in tournaments. It's pretty simple, really. I mean,
that's exactly what I was thinking too.
He could strike out a few Padres tonight, no question about it. But he's just if you're a big cash game player, like for me personally, I wouldn't do it. So I'm not going to suggest anybody else to do it. I'm not going to put
it's
all
the
my
trap
money on
of the big name and the big salary, and you go, oh, okay, he's the cash game arm of the night. But is he? I don't think so either. I think
he's not the safest. No,
I think he's a fan. I think he's a tournament FanDuel play. And God, the price is so expensive. 11.7 on DK. I think he's a total fade on DK altogether.
Yeah,
I don't want anything to do with him personally. Now that being said, is there anybody on the San Diego Padres side that you're intrigued by?
Yeah, most of these guys are just better against lefties. So I mean,
yeah,
Manny Machado at 3.8, maybe Josh Naylor at 2.7. Like these are some guys who got some pop in their bat. And Bauer has allowed 25 home runs. His fly ball rate is pretty high. It's extreme right now compared to what we normally see out of this guy. So I'm not going to stack against him, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if some of those guys go yard against Trevor Bauer. I mean, you just look at some of the splits and it's both sides. The lefties have 16 homers against them at 344 WOBA. So that's why I throw Naylor in there. I mean, I don't have a lot of faith in Eric Hosmer, but at 3.3, maybe it's all that. All it is just you being contrarian and going against the grain where people will probably play Bauer in tournaments and take shots on him in tournaments. Whereas if he does get lit up and you're off of him and you're on that San Diego train, just a couple guys, then, that's a pretty big edge that you have in the rest of your,
I can't believe that Aquino's up to 4.5 on FanDuel. That's
we haven't seen that all year from guys.
No, where you guys just like rocket up there. It's crazy. And Suarez is 3.8. He's the better value right now.
Yeah,
especially against the lefty and Lauer tonight. So I think Suarez at 3.8 is a terrific value. I think you take that to the bank. Marco Gonzalez, the lefty, against Brendan McKay, the lefty. They're both in Tampa. Chris Meaney, the Mariners riding high after the Kikuchi shutout. Does it continue to roll in Tampa?
It might. It may. A lot of lefties in that lineup, so I'm a little hesitant to roll them out against McKay. But maybe Santana I think I don't think you can ignore Kyle Seager right now. He may be pretty chalky, but the fact that he's on this run that he's on, FanDuel 3.5, it's not bad. I don't know if I'll go there at 4 on DK, but this is just a wacky slate where you can really do what you want.
Yeah, but Kyle Seager against the lefty, does that bother you at all?
Yeah, it does. It bothers me at all, or to the point where I'm definitely not going to play him in cash.
Yeah, see, I'm even fading Santana too because he's been stone cold lately too, and I don't know, man. I think this is another game where I just kind of just wrap it up and just toss it. I don't know. It's just not thrilling to me because of the two lefties.
Yeah, I'd rather play McKay than anyone else in the entire.
Agreed.
Game.
I definitely agree with that. All right, finally something I'm excited about. Dakota Hudson at 6.7 over on FanDuel. That is super cheap. That is outstanding. I love this. Now it's a tough matchup against the Brewers, so you're getting that tougher matchup. But at home, I continue to say this. I like Dakota Hudson on DK. He's just 8.6. So I'll put it to you. Are you afraid of the Milwaukee Brewers against Dakota Hudson? Or are you saying, hey, look, I know what Hudson is. Not the biggest strikeout guy in the world, but it's decent enough. Look, it's you got to take your spots with him. That's what we talked about, taking your spots. I think tonight, because you're so limited in your choices, it's a shot worth taking.
It certainly is a shot. There's a couple guys in this range that actually not even in that range. He is 6.7. There's a couple guys in the mid 7s that you can get behind. But if you're going to punt pitching and you're looking at the board, I mean, we're living in a world today where Wade Miley is 11-2 on DraftKings. So this is
a weird world. It's a very strange place we live in right now.
Yeah, what it's come to. Very strange. But the same things apply that we've been saying about Hudson. He's better at home, 3.4 ERA at home, a 57% ground ball rate, very, very solid. And Milwaukee hasn't been the same lineup. Now, they had a huge series against Washington. Both teams scored a ton of runs, but we know what they are on the road, not the same team. Again, if you're going to punt pitching, why not? Why not do it and then stack some bats? I mean, Astros are going to be hard to get in, but they're playing Detroit against Edwin Jackson. So this is the way to do it. You want to get some Astros in there, you're going to have to go down to Dakota Hudson. I don't hate it. There's a couple other guys that I like a little bit better, but the value is not as
well. That's what I mean. I think the concept is exactly right. It's 6.7. It's a joke. He's practically Cody Bellinger. He's like right. That's kind of a price. So I think you say, all right, give me all the offense I possibly can. It makes it a Trout night against the lefty in Texas. It makes it a night where you can go up to, you can basically get whatever you want. You want Aquino and Suarez, you got it. You want this, you got it.
You could go mini Houston is what you could do, and that's pretty strong. If you go mini Houston and then Dakota Hudson, it kind of balances itself out.
I agree. I'm with you. But let's continue on about the Mike Trout thing too, because of some of the lesser pitchers on the slate, you can get involved with Trout tonight. He's at 4.9 over on FanDuel. On DK's at 5.6, so tougher, but still kind of doable tonight because 8.6 for Hudson. It's not terrible. You can do it. You can make it work. It's fine. It's just very difficult tonight to really find anything cash game wise that you feel solid about. So you might as well pivot a little bit and play more tournaments tonight because I just think cash is going to be all over the board. Obviously, there's a favorable ballpark factor here going into Texas against Colby Allard. Is there anybody else in this Angels lineup before we get to Texas that you're excited about? Because Texas is a lefty, and we know what we usually say about lefties against the Rangers. We fade them. So any other righties in the Angels lineup you're excited about? Fletcher's been hot.
Fletcher's been hot. I mean, he's the hardest guy in baseball to strike out.
3K.
3K. I know. And I watched he struck out over the weekend, and man, was he rattled. You could tell he just does not strike out. It makes a lot of contact, the highest contact rate in baseball. So him atop the order is phenomenal. I would stay away from the lefty bats in the Angels lineup, Cole Calhoun and Shohei Ohtani. I really would. Upton's the way to go. Albert Pujols actually has been pretty good against lefties. He has 50 RBI in his last 48 games. Imagine that. But he's not doing a whole lot elsewhere. But those are the guys I would go, Upton, Pujols, and Trout and Fletcher if you want to stack. I mean, they have a 6.1 team implied total. Is pretty high.
All right, Wade Miley at 9K, which is very reasonable on FanDuel. Very, very reasonable. Yes. 11.2 on DK. Unbelievable. And the FanDuel pricing is so friendly. I mean, I guess Wade Miley is probably going to be the chalky cash game of the night, and I think it's just fine. Yeah, it's just fine.
I agree.
Wade Miley and the rest of these guys against Edwin Jackson, who's absolutely terrible. So that means everybody's in play here.
Absolutely.
1 through 6 is in play for me. If you even want to get some of the bottom guys, whatever, I don't care. However you want to work it, just get all the Astros at home against Edwin Jackson. He stinks. He's awful. The implied total for this one is 9.5. I think that the Astros can get that by themselves.
Agreed. Yeah, they should be able to easily. So, yeah, this is a tough spot for Edwin Jackson. I mean, what a rough year he's had. Now he's going to go into Houston to face this lineup. So brutal. Yeah, Wade Miley is the cash game play at home. 2.02 ERA over 62 innings. Unbelievable stuff. And opponents only hitting 187, and lefties only hitting 187 against them. So he's the cash game play. You're right.
Lock it
and
up.
all the Astros.
All the Astros. Lock it up.
Even the bottom of their order is so expensive. Like Gurriel's 5-1. Like it's really tough to get these guys in unless you go down to a guy like maybe Hudson.
Or you go to FanDuel and play it. I'm telling you, FanDuel, it's
always.
much more user friendly.
Always.
You know, we've already popped out some of those guys too earlier. Like Whit Merrifield is super cheap, and Robles is super cheap. You can get in there and work down a little bit of the price of some of these guys who are in the mid-4 range, because all these guys on FanDuel are in the mid-4s. Springer, Altuve, Brantley, Bregman, Alvarez, all 4-4 or 4-3, somewhere in that range. Ivan Nova against the Twins at home. Nelson Cruz, we're hoping returns and better play from the Twins a little bit, pick it up a little bit, because again, when Nelson Cruz is out of that lineup, that's the question. Eddie Rosario at 3.8, Cruz at 4. Kyle Gibson is a 7.4 over on FanDuel. I don't love Kyle Gibson because of the strikeout rate. Sometimes a little but at 10.1 on DK, is this another fade?
Yeah, I think it's another fade. The only reason you're going to play Kyle Gibson is because you're probably going to get a win. Really, that's it. I mean, he's walked 9 guys in his last 2 outings, and they have come against tough teams in Milwaukee and Cleveland. But that is a little concerning. But the ground ball rate is solid again, 50%. A team that strikes out a little bit in the White Sox. Gibson 4 outings ago went into Chicago and 6 innings, 1 run, 9K. And again, he isn't a guy that strikes out. You said off the top, he's not a guy that strikes out a lot of people. And you look at another start against the White Sox earlier in the year, 9K through 7. So that's 18 strikeouts and 2 outings against the White Sox this year. Probably going to get there. You're probably going to. I love the price on FanDuel more than DraftKings. I'm willing to take that shot 7.4. It's pretty cheap, and then you can afford Astros or Twins if you go that way, and it's fairly safe because Gibson and the Twins will probably win this game.
Yeah, James McCann swinging a hot bat too. Just want everybody to know.
How do you know that?
Because I was playing against him last week. He's just 3-3. So another one if you're looking for a lineup builder.
You and I just got destroyed by catchers. Jay had Will Smith against me, who's just been on a hell of a run as well.
I tell you, I'd rather get blown out than lose by a point or two, because then you second guess every decision you made at every little tiny start or sit or whatever it is. If I'm going to lose, just destroy me, and that's it. But that's all right. We finished in the money. That's all that matters. We almost made it to the dance. But I'm also very happy. That's a league that ends September 1st, which I'm all about.
It's a good call.
Yeah. It's a good call. That's it. It's done. Let's move on. And last but not least, Zach Gallen. Second start in a row against Colorado. The last one wasn't great, but again, it was against Colorado. This one, he's at home. And I had to say, this one, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued with Gallen at 8. He's got a little strikeout upside in him. The cost is right. He's 9.3 over on DK, just 8 on FanDuel. And I got to say, this one, I'm kind of in tonight on Zach Gallen because of the kind of slate it is. Especially if you're looking for a secondary arm at 9.3, you could put him together with Dakota Hudson and kind of make that work as like a little lower grouping. You kind of fade away from Wade Miley and just kind of get your pitching in a different way. I think Gallen can do enough tonight. It's not a cash game play, but I think it's a tournament one you have to consider.
I'm a fan as well. I like him. I watched that last start against Colorado. Obviously, it was in cores. I mean, he gave 9 hits, only saw 2 runs. I mean, it wasn't awful. So this is somebody who's only allowed more than 2 runs once, and it was 3 runs in his second outing against Washington. So 52 strikeouts in 45 innings, a double-digit swinging strike percentage, an ERA that's 2.58 right now. The fly ball rate isn't through the roof. So yeah, I'm definitely a fan of his, and I think he's a solid tournament arm. I think he's a pretty good value there as well. So
all right, so tell me, Chris Meaney, from a betting standpoint, what are you looking at today?
All right, so the betting lines, let's start up at the top. We'll go with Washington. I like them at minus 132. I bet you close to 7 o'clock, they're going to be like minus 150, 160 favorites. So get in on them now. I'm just going to stay away from Kansas City and Baltimore. Like, just have no interest at all in wasting my money on those 2 mediocre squads. And even so, with Tampa Bay at minus 205. It's pretty high. I think the under could hit there. It's an 8.5. The two lefties, and Tampa does strike out a little bit against lefties, and Seattle going up against McKay. So I think that could be the under. I like the over in LA and Texas. It's 11.5. That could climb up to 12.5, closer to 13 by the time first pitch happens. I like St. Louis at home. There's something there with Dakota Hudson at home. He's been very strong, very solid. Take a shot on him there. This is the craziest I've ever seen for betting. I've never seen a baseball game get this high. Honest to God, I've never seen it. Houston's minus 425. They open up at minus 360. It is unbelievable. There's absolutely no value involved in that. You would have to pick them by 3-4 runs, and even then, you're still going to be like minus 200. So if you want to, go for it. Just take their team implied total. Probably going to score 6-7 runs tonight. Same thing on the Minnesota side. They're minus 215. Not as heavy. They open up as minus 183. I still like the Twins. I still like them to hit their team implied total. It's probably going to be sitting at 6.5 by the time we get to first pitch. It's actually 5.5 now. I'd jump on that. And then to finish up, I like Arizona at home over Colorado. I like that Gallen call by you.
All right, so let's get to it. Let's call our shot, and I'm going to go with the little man in Houston. Again, I said that I think the Astros can cover the 9.5 by themselves tonight, and I believe that they will all by themselves, thanks to Edwin Jackson. I'm going to go with my boy, Jose Altuve. Why? Well, because he's slugging 560 at home, but also because it's Edwin Jackson, but also because I got that bobblehead bet, and I'm getting very close to it. Altuve sitting at 22 dingers right now, Chris. I'm super excited about it. 2 more dingers, and I get an Altuve bobblehead because somebody didn't believe in the little man. Not you, not Chris Meaney, but someone else who should not be named. But I'm getting real close, and I want to make him shake. I want this by September. That's what I want. I want it signed, sealed, and delivered literally to me, and I want the Altuve on the Game of Thrones throne. The Iron Throne.
I saw the tweet. I saw the tweet from somebody. That's
everyone's getting involved in this. Yes, because I'm trolling the guy now. Because Altuve missed significant time already this year, and the fact that he's this close already is it's glorious. So lock it up. Jose Altuve tonight, courtesy of Edwin Jackson. Meaney, who you got?
I'm going to go over to Texas. That's the other game I'm pretty intrigued with. Like the chalk is Minnesota and Houston. I think LA and Texas, both teams could get to their 6 team applied total. So I think there could be a lot of runs. I will go on the LA side and take Mike Trout, though.
No, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah,
so I'm going to stay away from the chalk, and I'm going to go with Mike Trout.
I mean, it's only like the second time we've picked him, I think. It's been you know what? It's been a great run. I get the notifications in my phone like, oh, Bellinger in the home run lead. Oh, Yelich in the home run lead. Trout's in the home run lead. They're all kind of jumping over each other each night. Yeah, they're going away from the chalk and go with just a little.
And by the way, so much for the home run derby killing Pete Alonso second half, right? We just we put that to bed. Like I said, that has nothing to do with anything. All that has to do with is guys who have great first halves end up in the derby, and then most of the time they regress to the mean or regress to the meanie, depending on however you want to take that. But that's just what happens. It's natural. Guys are bound to have worse second halves if they have a great first half most of the time, and that's what it is. So Pete Alonso also, I mean, it had just so many bombs this year. It's been fun, that's for sure. In the meantime, make sure you're downloading that LineStar app and utilizing all the tools in the optimizer and get familiar with everything for NFL because it's coming around. Pre-snap show. Again, subscribe to that. And we want to thank everybody for listening. As always, follow us on the Twitter machine at LineStar App, at LineStar MLB, at LineStar NFL, and of course, at Joe Pisapia 17 and Chris Meaney too while you're at it. That'll do it for us. There's nothing left to do except step out of the on-deck circle and into the batter's box and go yard. We'll see you next time, kids.
You've been listening to the DFS On Deck podcast, brought to you by LineStar. Hit subscribe, tell a friend, and stay tuned for the next episode from fantasy baseball experts Joe Pisapia and Chris Meaney.